How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing well.
Good morning.
Can you state your name for me, please?
I'm Gina Cornett, Jeremy's mother.
Honorable Cornett. Very good. All right. Go ahead.
Your Honor, it's been 2 years on Friday.
Let me just stop you for a moment. Do me a favor. Just make sure to take a deep breath. Take whatever time you need. I'm here all day, so just
Okay.
I want you to tell me what you want to tell me.
Okay.
So don't try to rush through it. Go ahead.
Well, like I was saying, Friday would be 2 years that our son was killed in a horrific car accident. And you can't even imagine the loss that has happened to us in our family. The boy that has been put in our lives. We don't have our son with his kids to visit us every weekend. We miss him on the holidays, especially Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. There's such a void. What has happened has impacted not only us, but our grandchildren. Jeremy's daughter, Aubrey, she's had to have counseling because of the horrific feelings that she had to feel losing her dad. And Dominic kind of suppressed right now. And she has seen a psychiatrist, Aubrey has. And I like to say to Beth Heinleiner that he has to carry his cross for what has happened. I don't hate him. I forgive him. I can't even imagine. But I just forgive him, and I just hope that down deep in his heart he realizes the impact that he's done to his family. Our son didn't have a chance. He was just killed so fast and instantly. It was horrible. And here's a picture of our son, Lord, Your Honor.
My eyes were better.
I'd like everyone to see his face. He's a happy-go-lucky kid. Just feel, Your Honor, that whatever you decide on Beth's sentencing, my feeling is that, I feel that he don't have to do whatever the max time that he has, but I feel he should at least do 3 months in jail to think about what he's done to us. And I think that that's fair enough because he needs time to think about this. He does not even probably realize the impact he's done to this family. And I just want to say that I don't hate him. I pray for him. But he should be able to realize that what he's done has just been horrible.
What makes this case so emotionally heavy is that no one in this courtroom is a villain. There's no hatred, no intentional harm, no anger, just one moment that changed several lives forever. The mother isn't here demanding revenge. She stands here carrying both pain and an unbelievable level of forgiveness. And that forgiveness cuts deeper than anger ever could. You can hear it in her voice. She would give anything to have her son back, yet she refuses to let hatred control her. That kind of strength is something very few people can truly comprehend.
Very hard. There's 2 officers come on that night, knock on the door, and give you some terrible news that your son was killed. I talked to them for 10 or 15 minutes and they left. And I turned around to my wife, I said, what did they just tell me? It didn't register in my mind. And since then, I've been on anxiety pills for years because it was such a shock, I guess, to me, and the children, and our family. A parent shouldn't have to bury their own child. He was our only son. And have to bury him. It was terrible. And in this crash, Your Honor, he said car on autopilot at 70 miles an hour driving into Ann Arbor in Russia. Everyone who lives in Michigan knows Ann Arbor traffic's backed up both ways, coming and going. And he did this in the middle of the afternoon. And I think he needs some common sense. I think common sense should have told him better than that. I'm going to leave it to the discretion of the court and probation. I'm not going to recommend anything. And I'm going to say that my wife and me will pray for the homeless, because I know it's cost them a lot too. Very, very sad thing. And I want to thank you, Ron, for listening to us.
Not a problem. Thank you.
The father's reaction shows another side of grief: the confusion, the shock, the disbelief that never really goes away. You can hear how that moment is still frozen in his mind. Even after 2 years, he is still trying to make sense of that night. And when he says, a parent shouldn't have to bury their child, it becomes the single most powerful truth in this entire courtroom. There is no sentence that can ever balance a loss like that.
My name is Sherry Kogel, and I was, the deceased was my boyfriend at the time. We were on the phone when it happened, so for 2 years. Hearing on and off, trying to figure out what was going on. I went through a lot of different emotions on how I feel in the situation. He was my best friend. You can't get that back. But I don't personally feel that all lives should be ruined. So, for me, what I think would be more beneficial, and I don't know if it would even be able to be a consideration, is that he was to have to take time out of his life to go to like a driver's ed or a school and talk about, just 1 second of not paying attention. Because if it could change one person's life, for the better. But I don't think more lives need to be ruined over.
The girlfriend brings a new emotional layer to the case. She doesn't want more lives destroyed. She wants this tragedy to mean something. She hopes the defendant will speak to others, warn them, prevent another accident. This is restorative justice at its purest, not driven by revenge, but by purpose and hope.
Say without any hesitation that two most difficult tasks and I think most defense attorneys face are, one, standing up after a victim statement that was, especially one with such grace, humility, and emotion that those poor people had to go through, and I certainly extend my sympathies to them on behalf of Mr. Highmore. And secondly, is to try to make sense of these types of cases, these types of crimes, which I think we all agree in the system are the most emotional, most difficult cases to sort out, because they are the only, if not the only, one of the only offenses that bring accidental and negligent conduct into a criminal courtroom like today. But we're ready to deal with that, and I want to start with some cold and sterile requests, Your Honor. One, I think I mentioned, Your Honor, in chambers, I would ask Your Honor to either order restitution today with the condition that may be revisited if, in fact, that was contemplated in the civil lawsuit that was settled, or to reserve restitution for a short amount of time while I talk to the insurance attorney. Secondly, Your Honor, of course, I'm asking you to follow the recommendation. I can't sit here and say I'm asking you to impose jail time on my client. That would be difficult for me to say, but I do think that Ms. Polera understands her role very well and made a very good recommendation here. And if Your Honor believes that jail time is appropriate, my client's ready to go in today, of course. Your Honor, I will say this. As we look at the conduct here, I think that the victims are probably searching for an answer as to what happened. I would be, too, if my loved one was killed or injured. and I don't think we're ever going to be able to offer that. Mr. Highmore doesn't have much of a memory. The police investigation didn't show that he was doing anything by way of reckless conduct, drinking, using drugs, using his phone. They checked all of those things. I think this was a situation in which Mr. Highmore simply either zoned out, didn't pay attention, and possibly we've learned a little bit about his medical condition since. He worked a 14-hour shift in the sun, dehydrated, and certainly his actions have resulted in the death of this poor young man. I will say, of course, Your Honor, that Mr. Highmore has no prior criminal history, no subsequent criminal history. This was, of course, 2 years ago. I think Ms. Blar noted that my client has shown remorse. He can't say a lot, unfortunately, because of potential civil liability. But I think his emotion, his family, all of whom are here, have written letters to say what a good young man this was and is, and I think will be affected the rest of his life. He's lost his privileges to drive. He's convicted. Doesn't pale in any way in comparison to what the victims have gone through here. But I think that
Here, the judge doesn't speak like a judge. He speaks like a parent. When he describes getting a text from his own son while thinking about a mother who will never receive another message again, that's the moment the entire room breaks. This isn't just a legal decision anymore. This is grief meeting grief.
For the court, say problematic, but it's what I have to do. I have to find some balance in terms of what I do to it. Before I continue, I guess, sir, is there anything you want to say? I do have to offer that to your allocation.
Yeah, I would just like to say that I am extremely sorry for what happened at the incident, and if there's anything I could do to change it,
I will tell you folks, I have been thinking about this since the time of, particularly last night, it was, what to do was weighing very heavily. I would just share one thing with you. I have certainly other thoughts. But as I was thinking about your family, and I had not met you, I don't think I had ever laid eyes on you. But I was sitting there and I received a text from my son. And it was something silly. He had charged my Amazon account for something he was buying. And he wanted to pay me back into my account. I thought about it for a minute. It doesn't.
The community service order isn't meant to be punishment, it's meant to be a mission. If this young man can prevent even one distracted driving death by sharing his story, then the girlfriend's hope is fulfilled. Something meaningful grows out of something unbearably painful.
Your words, in my mind, were that today. And to his girlfriend, I would just say, I can't imagine. And I wasn't aware of it till you said it that you were on the phone. Trying to move on. And that's hard. And again, I don't know where, when that happens, you even begin. I respect all of you in terms of your courage to come forth and to give those statements that you did. And for waiting all of this time as our system kind of worked itself through to even get to realize no matter what I do, with all the power and all the everything that comes with this road, I can't do the thing that I would wish to do most. And that is to bring back your son and your best friend. I don't have that power. God knows I wish I did. I can only try to make it as right as I can. And sometimes people come to court and they don't think that they're listened to. I heard every word that each of you said. And I will tell you that even into this evening and certainly thereafter, your words, your grace will be with me. And I will hear it over and over. I don't think you guys realize, again, I'll say it again, I don't know you when you got up there, all three of you. You guys are extraordinary. It sometimes is not what I...
The 90 days in jail aren't really about the time behind bars.
It's about reflection.
They are about reflection,
sitting with the weight
about sitting with the immense
lost.
weight of a life
No one
lost.
leaves this case whole.
No one walks
Life
away from this
lost.
case untouched.
No one leaves this
but there
case
is a
whole.
sense of grace
But there
here.
is grace here.
And in a courtroom,
and in courtrooms,
grace is rare.
Grace.
What I do is I just wish you peace. It is a sentence of the court. I'm going to place you on 24 months probation. You are to pay $855 fines and court costs, $720 probation oversight fees, $4,291.20 restitution to Earl Cornett payable through the court. When can you pay that?
I'm trying to make sure it's paid off in full as soon as possible.
Do you have anything with you today?
I'm due, but I'm not exactly sure the exact amount. I'm going to be getting a loan from my family to help pay.
From who?
My family.
How much can be paid today?
You want your dad to answer that?
Yes.
Your Honor, may his dad help with that answer? That's okay.
That's fine.
It's indicated 500 today. They have 1,000.
$1,000 today. I wanted to immediately check into regarding restitution so that when that $1,000 is paid, if the restitution is to go to the family, I want that to go to the family. I'll deal with the fines and costs probation.
You want that $1,000 put into bond for right now? Hold it until we know.
Yeah, but I wanted held until there's a determination. It's supposed to go to the family.
So it can be paid toward restitution.
It can be paid toward restitution, and then we'll figure it out. It won't be much, but to do that, that amount needs to be paid in cash. So however they have to make that happen, it's got to be paid that way. So that can be paid out to the family.
Then, Your Honor, I'll try to get the answer from the insurance attorney as quickly, maybe even today if possible.
Great. There is to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any other substance that is subject to random testing as requested by probation. You are to complete a driver improvement course as directed by probation. People aren't listened to, and I'm sorry, ma'am. What was your name again? I did not write it down. And Sherry.
Jerry.
Sherry, I'm going to take your recommendation to the court. It struck me as something, when you said, I don't want to ruin everybody's life, but maybe something good could come out of this. I say we give it a shot. So one of the things that I'm going to order is that I'm going to increase the community service hours. I'm going to order 250 hours of community service, specifically with the extra 150 that I've added. I want that directed toward community service, talking to kids about how to operate a vehicle safely and to pay attention, and what the